Hello and welcome back to your mat. Today we're doing what I'm going to call I'm just here for the stretch yoga. So this class is literally what it sounds like. We are just here to have a little feel good and have a nice stretch. So we're going to get started right away. I do have a block for one of the poses that you might need. Don't necessarily have to have that, but maybe have it on standby just in case. We'll get started with a quote by James Clear. A slight change in your daily habits can guide your life to a very different direction. So we're just gonna stretch it out a little bit today and see how we feel at the end of class. So go ahead and sit up nice and tall here, and we're just gonna come into a nice side stretch. So bring that right arm out in front of, or over to the side here, and this left arm up over top. We're starting to stretch here, side stretch. We're gonna open up that side body. And then we're going to do a little movement here with it. So go ahead and stay here for a couple of breaths. And then what you're going to do from here, we're going to take one more breath there. From here, you're going to drop that left hand down to your right knee. So we've got a nice little kind of a coming a little bit more toward the side here. So we're kind of turning our body a bit to the right. And then you're going to inhale and bring that right arm up and into a cactus shape. So bring that right arm up into a cactus shape. So continue holding onto that right knee with your left hand. Cactus that arm up, and then come back down. And then again, cactus your arm up and back down. And once more, we'll do another cactus the arm up and back down. Release all of that. Shake that all out. We'll go to the other side now. So go ahead and move your prop if you need to. Left arm out to the left-hand side, right arm up overhead. Come into that nice side stretch to begin with. Breathing here. Take a couple breaths there, and then we'll move into the movement part of this stretch. So go ahead and drop that right hand down to your left knee, and then spin your chest looking down to the ground here. And then we're going to open up into that cactus arm. So bring that left arm up behind you into a cactus, hanging on to that left knee. And then back down we go. Inhale, open up into that nice cactus, and exhale, back down. Inhale, and back down. Once more. Inhale, open up, and then release all that and shake all that off. And now, so from here, we're going to come to all fours, and we're going to do a thread the needle. I'm sorry, we're going to actually do a calf stretch first. Excuse me, got ahead of myself. So spoiler alert, we're going to do a calf stretch and then thread the needle with our arms. So go ahead and come to all fours. Give yourself some space on the mat. And you're just going to step that right foot back and really open up and give that calf a nice stretch. I really love doing this from the calf. I really can feel it instantly. So I've got my toes on the ground and I'm pressing back with my heel there. You should feel that in your calf muscles. And then release that and go to the other side. So left leg back, same thing. You may find that one side is much tighter than the other. They might be the same. This is one area I don't think we stretch all that often, so this always feels good to me. This is like one of my go-to feel-good yoga poses. And then from there, go ahead, drop that knee down, and then you're just gonna stretch that right arm up overhead, and then you're gonna take it and thread it behind that left arm. Come down into a nice thread the needle with the arms. So I've got my right arm is threaded behind the left hand, and this left hand can come up toward the front here as a kickstand, and twisting the body a little bit open to that left side there. So we're working through the shoulder here. This just feels really good. A nice stretch for the shoulder area, and you're getting a little twist there too. Inhale, come back up. And now we'll go to the other side. So left arm up and thread it behind the right. Bringing that left cheek down to the mat and using this right hand as a nice kickstand. Twisting over here to the right, looking out underneath of your right arm. You can close your eyes if you like here. This is just a really good one for the shoulders. Inhale and come all the way up. And now we're going to come to standing for a moment. This is where you may need the block. Here we're going to keep the right leg straight and we're going to deeply bend into that left knee. Bring your left hand down in front of you on the block or on the mat and just bring that right arm up over top, overhead. So a deep bend here in that left knee. Right leg is straight or straightish. You should really feel a nice stretch there. And then go ahead and bring that right hand down. Now we're going to switch. So now my right knee is deeply bent. My left leg is straight. Stretch that right arm up overhead. And then release that down. Bring the block with you if you're using it. And we'll go ahead and come into a wide-legged stance here. So from here, go ahead and stretch your legs out wide on the mat here. Turning sideways on your mat. You can use a block or not. Depends upon what works best for you. From here, stand up, get nice and tall. From there, go ahead and hinge forward at your hips. Come on down. So bring your hands down on the mat. You can use the block to place the top of your head on if that works for you. You can skip using the block, whatever is going to work for you today. Come into a nice forward fold here, wide-legged. Inhale, we're going to look out in front of us, halfway lift out. And exhale, we're going to fold in. Inhale, using the block or not, halfway lift, look out in front of you, and exhale, fold in. We'll do one more. Inhale, halfway lift, look out, and exhale, fold in. Then go ahead and bring yourself all the way back up to stand, and you can go ahead and get rid of your block. We're done with that for now. And then next, we're going to come onto our stomach. So we're going to start with Sphinx pose here. So go ahead and come onto your stomachs. Stretch your arms out into a nice Sphinx pose here, looking out in front of you. And then you're going to bend that right knee in. Go ahead and adjust that left forearm however you need to. And then you're going to reach back with your right hand and grab a hold of that foot if it's available. If it's not, just keep that right foot bending in. So you're going to pull that in any amount here. This is a great quad stretch. It's another one of my favorites, although I can really feel it and it can be intense at times, but it's a really great stretch. We're not going to hold these for too long, but if any of these really resonate with you, I highly recommend coming back to them and then holding them maybe longer. Release that foot, come back into your Sphinx for a moment, and then stretch that. Bend that left knee, adjust your right forearm, and reach back with your left hand and pull in that left foot any amount. And again, if your hand doesn't quite reach for the foot, that's okay. You're just bending it any amount to get that quad stretch. And then from there, go ahead and release that. And now we're going to bring our forehead to the ground. We're going to come in to Cobra. So you can come up into a low Cobra, medium Cobra, or high Cobra, whatever feels best for you. We're going to do a few rounds of that. So go ahead and place your hands next to your chest, forehead on the ground, elbows tucked in. Inhale and come up to Cobra. And exhale, release back down. Inhale into your Cobra. Could be a low one, medium, or high. Exhale. And inhale once more. Nice Cobra there, maybe your highest one yet for today. And release back down. Go ahead and make a pillow with your hands and rest here for a moment. And then from here, we're going to come into one of my favorite poses, which is pigeon pose. If pigeon does not work for you, you're going to come into figure four. Figure four is on your back. You're going to bring that left ankle onto your right, your right ankle onto your left knee and reach through and bring that left leg in. So if pigeon doesn't work for you, come into figure four. It's a great pose as well. Otherwise, we're going to come through with that right leg, come into a nice pigeon pose here. So go ahead and get into it. You can stay a little higher up if you like, whatever you need to do. Come forward, fold forward if you like, whatever feels good for you in this pose. This is one of my absolute favorite poses. It's such a great hip opening and stretch. So we're going to come into this pose. If it's one of your favorites and you're going to be happy to be here, we're not going to be here very long though. And if it's not one of your favorites, you'll be happy to know that it's not going to last very long. So for those that do like it, you may want it to last a little longer. So this is one of my ultimate feel-good yoga poses. But it doesn't work for everybody, so the figure 4 option is a great alternative. So we're going to breathe here for a couple more rounds, and then we're going to come into another pose. And then for those of you that are in pigeon, you're going to simply swing that left leg around and come into a cross-legged position. If you're in figure 4, go ahead and come up and come into a seated cross-legged here. So my left shin is in front of my right, and you're just going to simply fold forward. Another great stretch, a great yoga pose. You can stay more upright. I like to come forward on my forearms. You could use your block if you like. Got some options there. Just another great release for the hips. We won't be here very long either. Sometimes it feels good just to do these feel-good yoga poses, these stretches, get into the nooks and crannies at times. And then go ahead and come all the way up. And then we're going to go into the other side with pigeon or figure 4. So if you're doing pigeon, left leg forward, right leg back. If you are in the figure 4, your left foot will be on the top of your right knee. I think I said that right. And then go ahead and fold forward any amount for pigeon. If I didn't say that right, if you're in figure 4, just go the other direction. You have to think about what you'd be doing. So again, whichever variation you're in, whether it's pigeon or figure 4, just really release here into the mat and see how that feels. Enjoy this nice deep stretch. This is also a really grounding pose. So if you're feeling kind of frenetic, flighty, can't make decisions, it's nice to do a nice grounding pose like this. And then for those of you who are in pigeon, we're going to go ahead and swing that right leg forward and come into our forward fold. If you're in the figure 4, go ahead and bring yourself up to a seat here. Right shin in front of the left. And then when you're ready, go ahead and fold forward any amount. Take another inhale there and an exhale. And then walk yourself back up. And we're going to finish on our backs here. So we're going to finish with a nice supine twist. So go ahead and stretch that left leg out long on your mat. Hug your right knee into your chest. Bring that across your body. Right arm out to the side and look over to the right. This is a nice, just a feel-good, one of the quintessential feel-good yoga poses, I think. Feels all nice along that back body. You can close your eyes if you like here. Just release everything in the mat here. Release this with this pose. This is one that you commonly see at the end of a practice. It's just a great one to wrap up your practice. Again, we're not going to stay long here, but if you find any of these are just your favorite poses, please come back to them and stay longer. Go ahead and come back to center. Stretch your right leg out and bend that left leg in. And then go ahead and cross that over to your right. And then bring your left arm out to the left and look over to your left. I highly recommend closing your eyes here. I'm really feeling that deep stretch all along that back body there. This is such a great pose. This is a good one to do right before you go to bed. You can even do it in bed. Do this anytime, anywhere practically. take one more inhale and exhale. Come back to center, hug both your knees into your chest, roll over to one side, and bring yourself back up. For those of you that have time, please feel free to lie back into Shavasana or whatever variation of Shavasana works for you. For the rest of us, we're going to move on with our day. Thank you so much for joining me for this, what I like to call, I'm just here for the stretch session. This was just some really feel-good yoga poses. Sometimes it just feels good to do what feels good. So thanks again for joining me, and until next time.